Welcome back to a new style of video. So this is something that I want to do, not because I think will necessarily perform better as far as YouTube and stuff goes, but because my main goal right now is adherence. Because even if I plan out something, I don't do a good job of following what I have planned. So that means I have random days where I max out or do things that aren't logical if you are programming or following a program. So I want to talk about the sessions that I'm going to be doing, go through those sessions, and then you can see how well I adhere to them. I'm also going to put the workouts that I do in the description of the video, so then you can see how well I adhere to it. So in this first half of this video, it's going to be a morning session. So I'm actually going to have 2 sessions today, and the morning sessions are going to stay relatively the same throughout the time that I do them. So at most, I'm going to muscle snatch. I'll talk about the exercises, but the weight will stay the same, or it's going to start a little bit lighter and progress a little bit heavier. But for instance, muscle snatch plus overhead squat, it's 40 kilos today. At most I'm ever going to do is 50 kilos. And the reason for that is I'm not necessarily trying to build strength. I'm just trying to go through the range of motion and trying to almost stretch in a sense, just going through snatching and cleans and jerks or pressing or whatever, and just moving and doing it without weightlifting shoes on. So that will be an interesting change. So muscle snatch plus overhead squat at 40 kilos, 5 sets, 3+3. The cleans, clean plus overhead press, 60 kilos, 5 sets, 3+3. So 3 cleans, 3 overhead presses. And with those, I put no cleans, so like no hook, no feet. Most likely it will just be no hook. We'll see how that is feeling. Maybe I'll do the no feet as well. It's only 60 kilos, so it's not really that big of a deal either way. Hangs from the bar, so I most likely will never record those, but that will be passive and active hangs from the bar to continue to hopefully improve the health of my shoulder, which I think is steadily improving. But me doing random max out sessions is a good way to re-injure it or re-aggravate it or allow it to not recover. A lighter session or light or work where I'm just getting more volume in is going to build it hopefully back better to where it was before without tearing it down too much or potentially re-injuring it. So the hangs will be both with a jerk grip or with a snatch grip, and I do that on the with the bar on the squat rack with it all the way up, and I do it with both passive where your shoulder is rising up and you're relaxing it, and then active where you're kind of squeezing your scaps, and that's just to strengthen that area, to stretch it out, all that good stuff. So that's going to be this morning session. I'll come back after this session, or I'll be back here in the afternoon, and I'll talk about the main work that I'm going to be doing. So if you let me know what you think of this idea of a video, I'll also put, I think I might have already said this, but I'll put the workouts in the description so then you can bully me if I don't follow what I have planned. I think the only caveat is I can go lighter, but I can't go heavier, especially at these beginning stages. And I will say, like, if it's 72 kilos, I might do 75. Basic stuff like that. That's just like quality of life. Like, I'm not going to get, all the little kilo plates on there to get it precisely because it's not that important. But if I say that I'm going to do 70 kilos and I'm out here doing 80, I want you to leave hate comments in the comment section down below. But let's get this workout done. It's like 10 a.m. It's probably about 85 right now. So I'm getting cooked out here. But thankfully the shed doesn't get too hot. But I'm gonna get the morning work done, go in, get other work done, and then come out here for the afternoon and do more work. But I'll talk about that in that session. So let me know what you think, and hopefully you enjoy this, probably a longer video too. But I'll talk to you all in the next part. All right, so instead of putting it all in the description, because things are inevitably going to change, I'll just make a little quick conclusion talking about what stayed the same or what changed. So the snatching, I did all 5 sets with 40. Did them really quick. So one of the reasons I'm glistening right now is I basically just went. Like, I turned off the camera and turned it back on and then went. And that was basically my rest. So it was pretty continuous, even for the clean jerks. For the clean jerks, I did no feet and no hook. I went down to 40 kilos, as you can see, with the bar still, and I did 3 sets. And that was because I was starting to get kind of cardio gassed, starting to get my low back a little bit, not really like to a bad extent, but I was just feeling that muscle work and mostly like the cardio aspect of it. My left shoulder is a little bit achy on the overhead press. I didn't feel anything of the muscle snatchers or the overhead squats, and I suppose that's probably another reason why I want to limit it, but maybe build into that 60 kilos for 5 sets at the most. But for the muscle snatches, the most would be 50. And with the morning sessions, if I go less and do less, I'm completely fine with that, because this is just moving around, cardio, stretching. It's not trying to, fix technique or build strength. But I'm going to take this off, do some bar hanging. Because I'm so tired right now, I might not do it for very long, but we'll see. But really productive morning session, so I'll see you all in the afternoon when it's going to be probably like 95 degrees. So we'll see how we're doing then, but I'll talk to you all that part of the video. Talk to you then. Peace. Welcome back to my second session today. So it is 93 degrees outside, and you may be asking a couple of questions. One, why do I have pants on? And these are just the hook grip training pants. So they're pretty thin. They've never made me feel overheated. And also you might be asking, why is the shed door closed? And that is because I do not like bugs flying into the side of my head or into my eyeballs while I am getting ready to lift. And in a shed, or at least in the way that this shed is designed, with the light being above and one that's over there, the bugs tend to percolate right around where my head and face is. Face is, yeah. I don't have plural faces, so it is just is. So that's why I got them still closed, just like I did this morning. Even though it's 93 degrees, it's not too bad actually in here. I got a fan blowing on me. I can tell that I'm going to get drenched in sweat as soon as I start moving, but that's going to be fine. I didn't take pre-workout today. I just drank additional coffee, so I'll be curious to see how that will feel. I don't have no idea the actual caffeine amount that I've had. That's one thing that's hard with coffee, is that it's very inconsistent, the amount of caffeine that you get, and pre-workout is a lot more measurable, the amount of caffeine that you're getting, assuming that the pre-workout has, correct measurements on the side. But I've generally found that it's a lot more accurate, the feeling that you're going to get. I prefer to have a pre-workout that doesn't have beta-alanine or any of the other stuff, because I don't like those feelings as much. I just kind of want the caffeine, the creatine, the basics of that. But anywho, afternoon session is going to be light, not as light as this morning, but it's going to be snatch plus overhead squat. The working sets are going to be at 65 kilos, and it'll be 5 sets of 3 plus 3. So I'm going to do 3 snatches, 3 overhead squats. Snatch pulls are going to be 5 sets of 3 at 90. I may just do 5 sets of 5. We'll see how I'm feeling as I get to those. So I'll kind of play that by ear, but kind of the minimum is 5 sets of 3 at that 90 kilos. And then back squats at 120, 4 plus 1, meaning that I'm going to do 4 regular squats and then pause the last rep of each set. And then bar hangs, I actually did a little bit of that before I set the bar on the ground. So I'm not really counting, I don't really want to count the volume or the intensity or anything like that, because it's a stretch. I'm trying to actively hold it, trying to actively hang, or I'm trying to passively hang from it and just go back and forth. So just trying to do extra work for my shoulders, because I think it's something that's been helping. And I just want to continue to reiterate that, or to get a lot of repetitions or just a lot of time under that kind of tension. But that's going to be afternoon session. I'm going to be drenched in sweat. I have an additional t-shirt that's up there. Probably will save it for back squats. because I don't want the bar slipping off of my back, because that would be less than ideal. But I already feel myself starting to get sweaty, so hopefully I won't have to spend too much time warming up. But time to get the snatches done. I'll try to do them as quick as I can because this is lighter weight, so I shouldn't need a ton of time to recover. So that will be the other thing that will kind of get me drenched a lot in sweat. But nothing less to do or nothing else to do other than to get the work done. So I'll talk to you at the end of this second session. Well, I think I did everything as prescribed today. I don't think I missed any sets or any reps or anything like that. I'm not going to do any more bar hanging today just because I want to go in and shower. Certainly the hardest part of today was the heat. I don't think it really got much hotter than when it started in here, but I was sweating a lot and it was kind of hard to catch my breath, which is to be expected when it's, I don't think my phone's here. It was as low as 90, as high as 93. So somewhere between those two temperatures, but you know, what are you gonna do? Not train? Like, that's certainly not an option. I think the basic precautions that I took was to make sure that I was drinking adequate water, that I fully had my breath caught and I was fully recovered. I wasn't trying to, you know, sprint through the workout to get more of like a cardiovascular stimulus just because of the heat. I was going to be pushed anyway because of that. But I was quite happy with the squats. They felt really sore at first on like my knees and quad tendons, but they loosened up and warmed up really nice. So they all felt really easy. None of the weights for anything felt difficult. It was more just the recoverability between the sets. Mostly, I would say for the squats, it was probably a little bit worse, but the snatches were pretty close behind. The pulls were, I feel like I've said it a million times, the pulls are always easy. And I'm never really worried or stressed about the pulls. It was just trying to do them correctly and trying to keep them close and all of that. But yeah, nothing too radical with this session. You saw it's pretty light weights, pretty basic stuff. I forget what I have tomorrow, but I know it's clean stuff. Like clean and overhead press and cleans and push press. I don't know. I think maybe clean pulls. I'll have to look at it, but I think it's like all clean stuff, which will be nice because it'll be different than what I have been doing with having a weightlifting focused day and strength focused day. It'll kind of just be related to what I'm doing, but I'm gassed. I need to go in and eat. Thankfully, like muscle wise and stuff, like I don't feel like I'm wrecked in that way. I think it's like mostly the heat, which is good because I should feel good for tomorrow, but it's going to be same kind of thing all week. I think it's supposed to get up to 98 at one point, but the only reason I'm not going to the physical gym right now is I'm trying to fix some paint on my car. So I have a big spot that doesn't have any paint or anything on it, so I don't really want to drive that around until I get paint later this week. And then once I have that on there, then I'll be able to avoid when it's this hot outside and go to the physical gym space. Although it's not super cool in there, it's not like the air conditioning is fantastic, but it's going to have more than this fan, which is not any air conditioning, it's just air. So it'll be a little bit better than that. But I think that will be good later this week because I think that's when it's supposed to be the absolute hottest. But tomorrow's going to be a busy day, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a morning session. I have an online orientation for the new school I'm going to be at next year, as well as a test. All our tests for my grad school class are on Tuesday. My other grad school class, because I'm doing 2 this summer, should be starting. I thought it was going to start today, but maybe it's tomorrow, and I looked at the wrong day. But it's starting this week at some point. At least the class will open up. So that will take me through the rest of the summer, or at least like 5 more weeks. So most of the rest of the summer. For the rest of it, I don't know. I can't really think right now. So then for a brief time, I'll be pretty busy with both of those. But so far, like, the workload is manageable. It's work, but it's nothing that, as long as you stay on top of it, seems that bad. We had to watch a movie for a film. I don't even recall it. We had to write about the film, essentially. So I had to write a paper about the film. It was just a regular movie. I didn't really like the movie, but was able to get enough stuff from it. I forget what it's called. It was a golf movie, but I'm gassed. I need to go in and eat. I'll eat and drink a lot of fluids and eat a lot of food. Because especially if I'm doing a lot of this volume, I'm going to need that to recover. But that's going to be it for this one. So if you like this video and enjoy this different style, let me know. But I think it's something I'll just keep pumping out because it'll be good to hold me accountable and make sure that I am adhering to what I have written down or what I wrote down, because that will hopefully give me the best results, and me adhering to what I have written down will at least allow me to follow a more logical progression, especially as you saw today. The weights are really light, so the progression will be manageable. I'm not trying to increase. I basically try to do something logical, and I want to adhere to that logical thing without letting my monkey prehistoric brain get in the way. So that's always the biggest thing to fight against. But it'll be the same thing either tomorrow, maybe a morning session, maybe not. I would like to, but it depends on how early I wake up and how motivated I am in the morning. But enough rambling before I pass out from the heat, but it's not too bad now that I'm all sweaty and whatnot. But talk to you all in a nice one. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.